Hello, my name is Joseph Quilter and I'm the Chief Flight Instructor for Southern Utah University. Today, we're going to take you on a ride-along for some of the procedures and places you'll see with the new SUU Backcountry Lab. Now, all the airports we're going to today are FAA-approved fields that we've thoroughly researched ahead of time that we have prior experience going to. Before you come out and land in any of the backcountry areas, you want to make sure that you are thoroughly prepared and that you do so with a trained flight instructor to help you understand some of the risks you'll be taking to visit some of these beautiful places. Let's get started. So when we're preparing ourselves to land in an airport environment that is not regulated like a normal paved airport, there's a lot more things to consider. For this reason, when we're putting it down into an area that is what we deem to be an off-airport landing, we're going to need to survey the area a couple times first. The first one we're going to do here is called the High Reconnaissance Pass. Now, on the High Reconnaissance Pass, we're coming over with high speed, high energy, at a high altitude. Still close enough to be able to look at what the wind is doing, look for potential obstacles, look for any aircraft or animals on the field, look for the generalized condition of the field. Now, we're coming in on a field called Mineral Canyon here. We're going to do our High Reconnaissance Pass. During this High Reconnaissance Pass again, we're just assessing the general condition of this field. Alright, you can see that it's right next to the river there. Looks to be in good condition. Nobody's on the field. Have a little bit of vegetation growing up. But overall, appears to be in good shape. So we'll go ahead and turn around. And next we'll set up for our Low Reconnaissance Pass. On the Low Reconnaissance Pass, what we're going to do is the same thing, except we're going to bring it in a lot lower. We're going to do a surveying pass where we come through and look for some of the finer details. If there's any ruts in the runway, if it's wet, if there are low points, how tall is the vegetation, how much wind clearance are we going to have. These are the types of things we're going to be surveying in our low pass. You'll notice then when operating in an off-airport environment, the conditions surrounding the airport might be a little bit more confined than you're used to. So you want to make sure that you're comfortable with that. Understand the wind conditions that you're getting into. Watch for potential mountain wave and downdrafts that can be coming through these canyons. And make sure that you're fully aware of how those weather phenomena are going to impact your flight. That way you're not getting yourself in a dangerous situation. Alright, so here we are in a left base. Coming into final. Slowing our aircraft down. And shooting a low pass. Assessing how tall the trees are. We're assessing how tall the vegetation is. What the ground conditions are. If there's any major ruts or divots. Scaring away any animals that might be in the area. And in this case, since we have a windsock, evaluating what that windsock is telling us. Looks like the area is well clear, and we're now prepared to come in and do our landing. Now, if we did have any questions about the conditions, and we were unsure whether it was too sandy, too soft, too wet, if there was any type of concerns that way, what we would want to do is come around and do a touch pass. With that touch pass, we would do the same thing as a low pass, but we would just touch the tires to the ground and feel out a little bit the conditions of the soil before we fully commit to taking the weight off of the wings and landing the aircraft. Since the soil conditions are looking really nice today, we're going to go ahead and commit to that landing, so we'll come around and land the aircraft. Give ourselves a little bit of room. We'll always want to be up against the canyon walls so that we have room to pass other aircraft and have enough time to turn around. Alright, now as we come in on this pass, you'll notice that we got to be a lot slower because at first we carried in a lot of energy to make sure we had options if the wind conditions were not right, if we saw anything that we didn't like, we had the energy to get out of there. The problem is that we're not going to be able to land if we carry that much energy in, so now we got to slow the aircraft down, giving us a little bit more exposed, but also in a position to be able to touch those wheels nicely. Alright, coming around on our base pass, and turn into final. When you're operating in an airport environment that is off airport, you'll find that it's not clear of obstacles. There are times where things may obstruct your view a little bit as you're coming in on the approach. It's important to set up your approach path clear of obstacles manage your energy to your point. Looking good. Now that we're on the ground, we want to be considerate of the ground conditions. Making sure we got our prop clear, making sure we got our tail clear, and positioning the controls in order to give us the best optimal clearance there. Not uncommon to get a couple of bumps there. That's how your off-airport landing is going to look. We're going to make sure that our wings are clear of these trees here. And make sure that our tail is going to be clear as we swing it around to set up for takeoff. Good speed, we'll go ahead and rotate, and off we go. That's what your off-airport landings are going to look like. These are some of the techniques that you're going to want to use if you're finding yourself in a position where you're landing off-airport. In the event of an emergency, you won't be able to do the passes, but you're going to use a lot of those same skills in order to clear your obstacles, set down in a good point. Hey guys, thanks for riding along with us today. Hope you enjoyed the video and that you found it informative. If you did, please like and subscribe, and remember, don't go out and try this stuff without the help of a trained professional, making sure that you're doing everything safe. We'll see you on the next one.